I've always made the point that this negotiation with bandits, with terrorists, they say in Katsina they are holding meetings with terrorists. No. The basic position is that terrorists, bandits, insurgents are criminals. They tried this negotiation thing, previously under the Buhari administration. It did not work. Because the whole idea of rehabilitation and negotiation amounted to a cop-out against the Nigerian people by the Nigerian government at that time. And now we have praised the Tinubu administration in terms of the arrest, the prosecution of the Emir Ansaru, or whatever he calls himself, and his chief of staff, Mahmouda, and their sentencing on one of the 32 count charges. That it looks like the Tinubu administration is not ready to prepare jollof rice or engage in this illusion that criminals can be rehabilitated. Now, if that is what they are trying to do in Katsina State, it is wrong. Persons who have been identified as rank and file criminals of the first rank, should be subjected to the full wrath of the law. Sitting down and negotiating with criminals, either at the community level or at the government level, is unacceptable, and it runs against the grain of previous protestations by the Tinubu administration that any criminal, any bandit, any insurgent will be labeled appropriately as a criminal and dealt with accordingly.
Absolutely, labeled as a criminal. I think for us in Nigeria, we need to define what we term as criminal activity and who we see to be criminals. Do we consider bandits as criminals? Like Dr. Bati mentioned, we've explored this route of kinetic and non-kinetic, and as part of the moves for non-kinetic approach to addressing security challenges in the country, some states in the Northwest had resorted to negotiating with these bandits whom some people would refer to as criminals, and criminals in the sense that they are architects of violence, kidnapping, cattle rustling, I don't know what else, or under which other term would call them, if not criminals, who ought to face the law. But it's okay, you know what, they might have some things that they are aggrieved about. Let's bring them to the negotiation table, since we've been on this path of war with them for many, many years, and perhaps this would bring about peace. Now, on August 28th, of this year, it was said that a peace agreement had been reached with some of these bandits. And they said it wasn't the government that was spearheading this peace agreement. It was community-led. So some spiritual leaders, some community leaders came together, and they actually had a sit-down with bandits in Nigeria to negotiate. As we would imagine, less than a month following that peace agreement, we've now seen this attack on the Zamfara community, which happened yesterday, and where they kidnapped about 40 people during prayers in the mosque. This also reflects in Katsina State as well, where we've seen bandits still attack. So what happened to the peace pact? It shows, as it failed during Governor Bello Masari's time, when it failed at that time, that peace agreements or peace pacts do not work. When are we going to acknowledge this and actually treat the situation as it ought to be? Like Dr. Bati describes it, and I totally agree. It seems like a cop-out because they've not been able to push back on terrorist activities in the Northwest. So the next thing is to then say, okay, you know what, let's talk to them. What do you want to negotiate about? What they say, in major wars, people come to negotiation table. Even World War I, World War II ended through negotiation and agreement. But the people should have something they're holding on to. What is the claim of the bandits, aside from the fact that they are involved in criminal activities? I center on security today because it ties in, or it links to a number of the stories or headline stories for this morning. When we look at the state of the economy that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar spoke about, he did talk about the fact that when we have a state of poverty and lack in the economy in the country, it would lead to young people and even older people involving themselves in a life of crime and criminal activity. So he talked about the increase in advanced free fraud, increase in even protestations as we've seen in other parts of the world, he talked about the fact that if the Tinubu administration is not serious about looking after the economy, then we might find ourselves dealing with even bigger issues. And so that is why we have to be serious about security. Hence the reason why we applauded the efforts of security agencies in prosecuting criminals as they are, and we saw the sentencing as we talked about last week. So to now begin to see negotiations and even the audacity to go back to the negotiation table again following the breakdown of the Peace Pact beggars belief. I believe that the Northwest is serious, and you know, the Zamfara governor has said it before, that the bandits are people that they know. They are people that they understand their operation, and if given the apparatus, he'll be able to tackle this in 2 weeks. Give him the apparatus, let him work it out, because the people have suffered for too long under the siege of these bandits for us to be handling the matter of security with child's play. We have a bigger time bomb on our hands if we don't deal with that.